Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But more specifically, how Across the Spider-Verse has made one of the Spider-Man shows darker. And said Spider-Man show so happens to be my favorite Spider-Man incarnation in terms of the cartoons, and that is the Spectaular Spider-Man. How does it make it darker? Well, let's just find out, shall we? So, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse featured hundreds of Spider-Man variants, including a cameo from the Spectaular Spider-Man. I had when I saw Spectaular Spider-Man, I heard Josh got his name, but the guy who plays Spider-Man in the Spectaular Spider-Man's voice in the Across the Spider-Verse. It's like, and my brother looked at me and said, "Yeah, I know." Like, I've even been rewatching the Spectaular Spider-Man on Disney Plus. That's how much of a fan I am to the Spectaular Spider-Man. I think it should have got a season 3. But that's just me. Anyways. The Spectaular Spider-Man, Captain Stacy is confirmed to have died after season 2, adding a tragic element to the show's ending. The inclusion of Spectaular Spider-Man in Across the Spider-Verse is a small but significant acknowledgement of the show's events and brings some closure to the popular adaptation, even though the chances of season 3 are low. Man, okay. The reason why there is not a season 3 to Spectaular Spider-Man is because Spider-Man, when the Spectaular Spider-Man was airing, that was before Disney has bought the rights to, I believe, Marvel. And even though Marvel doesn't have the rights to stream their to produce Spider-Man movies, except for them the Tom Holland Spider-Man, where they did this deal with Sony to make the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy that we got so far, and the fourth one that's coming on the way. Yeah, so Marvel doesn't have the rights to make the Spider-Man movies, but they do. I don't know if at least unless things changed, do have the rights to stream or to produce Spider-Man shows. And I believe the last show, I don't know if they came up with any other Spider-Man show, but the only one that I am aware that they made since that they made is the Ultimate Spider-Man that had Drake Bell as a Spider-Man. I think the Spectaular Spider-Man deserves a third season. Is one of the best incarnations of Peter Parker. I think it's, no offense to Tom Holland, but I like Spectaular Spider-Man more than I like Tom Holland Spider-Man. And even though I do like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, I think that the Spectaular Spider-Man is even better than the Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I think Spectaular Spider-Man, if we're going to bring in the movies, rivals Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, in my opinion. If not, it does better. I enjoy it. I think, like I said, think it deserves a third season. I'm hoping that Disney allows does the same treatment as for Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And what I mean by that precisely is that Star Wars: The Clone Wars had 5 complete seasons, and they had some episodes in season 6 already done, and they were producing some more. And when Lucasfilm got bought out by Disney, it halted production. So we didn't get a full-length 6th season of the Clone Wars, precisely, right? And for a while, we understandably, nobody expected for the Clone Wars season 7 to be a thing, right? And then here we are hearing from Disney and Lucasfilm that season 7 of the Clone Wars will be a thing. One of the best news Disney Star Wars has done is give us season 7 to properly conclude Star Wars: The Clone Wars, right? So I'm hoping Disney will allow the Spectacular Spider-Man to get a proper ending, or whoever own, like, buy the rights to the Spectacular Spider-Man, right? And give us a proper ending to the Spectacular Spider-Man. Because I think that show deserves it. I love that show. I know I'm not the only one. Many people have enjoyed that show. And for me, when it comes to these shows, the Spectacular Spider-Man, kind of like how Tobey Maguire is in the live action era, is the Spider-Man for me. I will always be the Spider-Man for me. Anyways, let's actually get into the actual article, because I've been talking your guys' ears off for like 6 minutes. One Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse scene made the Spectacular Spider-Man ending more tragic. Whereas Spider-Man's Into the Spider-Verse only featured a handful of Spider-People, Across the Spider-Verse featured hundreds of Spider-Man variants between supporting and background characters. Multiple Spider-Man properties were referenced during the Spider Society scene, including comics, movies, video games, and animated movies like Spectacular Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man. Just kidding. That's the actor who played Peter Parker in the Spectacular Spider-Man reprised his role in the Across the Spider-Verse. Spectacular Spider-Man was one of the many Across the Spider-Verse variants, appearing in 2 brief but important movies in the movie. One of them confirmed the fate of the Spectacular Spider-Man character 14 years later after the end. The show ended. When Miguel O'Hara was presenting Miles Morales with the concept of canon events, he used the death of Captain Close to Spider-Man as an example of something that happens to every Spider-Person across the multiverse sooner or later. The sequence included multiple variants of the death of Captain Stacy or similar characters across all media. Yeah, in some cases it's been Uncle Ben, which essentially helped, well, in a way inspired Peter Parker to be Spider-Man when he got bit by the radioactive bug. And yeah, in some cases, like in the Amazing Spider-Man, where not only did Uncle Ben die, but Captain Stacy died as well. So like that also kind of played a part in Amazing Spider-Man too. Anyways, why is my mouse having a seizure right now? Anyways, the sequence included most, for example, the original Spider-Man comic where Captain Stacy died, and a live-action scene from the Amazing Spider-Man feature Andrew Garfield appeared. Interestingly, the Spectacular Spider-Man Peter Parker also appeared in the sequence mourning Captain Stacy, who was alive when the show was cancelled. Therefore, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Spectacular Spider-Man cameo confirms that Captain Stacy, who was close to Peter Parker on the show, died after Season 2. The Spectacular Spider-Man Season 2 was the show's final, as the series was cancelled and replaced with Ultimate Spider-Man. Which Ultimate Spider-Man was a massive downgrade, to be honest. I watched a few episodes of Ultimate Spider-Man, and I couldn't finish it. I honestly could not finish it. I disliked it that much. The Spectacular Spider-Man finale was bittersweet, namely because Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy wanted to be together but could not. Now, Across the Spider-Verse makes the Spectacular Spider-Man even darker, considering that Gwen Stacy eventually lost her father and that Peter Parker lost a friend. Rather, Spectacular Spider-Man has lost Gwen Stacy his universe is unclear. So, and apparently, according to this next part, across the Spider-Verse canon events brings closer to Spectaular Spider-Man. After 14 years after the show was cancelled, the chances of Spectacular, Spectacular Spider-Man season 3 happening are low. As one of the best iterations of Peter Parker and his mythos, the Spectacular Spider-Man would surely have continued to explore Spider-Man's story with excellence. The Spectacular Spider-Man ending left several storylines unresolved, including, but not limited to, Norman Osborn's return, Gwen and Harry's relationship, and the possible introduction to Wilson Fisk. Which I would have loved to have seen. Wilson Fisk. I even heard that Carnage was going to be into the Spectacular Spider-Man, which I really enjoyed what they did with the Black Suit Spider-Man arc, the Venom arc, so I would have really loved to have seen them dig deep into the whole Carnage arc. I think they could have made Carnage extremely scary. One of the most scary things, period, that I've seen on screen. Josh Keaton's Spider-Man cameo in Across the Spider-Verse revisited the show 14 years later, and the coolest thing to a continuation of the Spectacular Spider-Man story since the show ended. Across the Spider-Verse, Spider Society scene confirmed that Spectacular's Peter Parker continued to be Spider-Man after the events of the show, and that Captain Stacy eventually died saving someone. While these are small additions to the show's canon, an official Spider-Man property has acknowledged that the Spectacular Spider-Man events past Season 2, which had always seemed very unlikely. Spectacular Spider-Man cameo in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is obviously not as good as the show returning for a new season would have been, but at least it brings some closer to the popular Spider-Man adaptation. I mean, yeah, one can say that Spider-Man it does bring some closer to the Spectacular Spider-Man to a certain degree, but I feel like what would really bring us closer is pulling a Clone Wars Season 7 on us with Spectacular Spider-Man 3. Giving us the Spectacular Spider-Man 3, Season 3, with about like 10 episodes about, so we can properly get this series with a proper ending, so people like me can get like an official closure. Like, should this bring some closure, but not as much as there would be if they give us a Season 3. With that said, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Guiding one another. I will talk to you, fellow mutants, later.